air. You climbing them crystal stairs, messing with the player. We carry heat nicely, strapped with raspberry peach icy. Mobbing my Mobby through the Mojave. Right, you know? Yeah, if you want it, then run up on. Here it go, that classic material. High roll, invincible, invisible, indivisible. And I have you know, if you want it, then run up on. Here it go, classic material. High roll, invincible, invisible, indivisible. Oh, I have you know, if you want it, run up on. Here it go, that classic material. High roll, invincible, invisible, indivisible. And we'll have you know, if you want it, then run up on. Here it go, that classic material. High roll, invincible, invisible, indivisible. And I'll have you know. No. High roll.
Check it out. Dell's back, go get your life preserver. See the jaw pump, try to simulate. Give me your break, you rhyme purely functional. Merely fills the gap. I'm a rhyming mercenary, I'ma kill the track. My brainstorm causes cloudburst. Bring forth a rhyme like childbirth. Style search, the strips of steak. I'm you wait for bitchy ways to get you baked. Your effeminate image is far from intimidating.
Hi, boxing fans. I'm Al Bernstein, and joining me tonight are my partners Max Kellerman and Teddy Atlas. We're glad you could join us for what should be another great night of boxing here at the 4th Street Auditorium. As the fighters make their entrances to the ring, let's go ringside for a closer look. Now let's quickly take a look at the judges for tonight's bout. Now let's go to the center of the ring for tonight's introductions.
Well, fans, we welcome you to this next featured event. All right, here we go. In the blue corner, introducing the Bomber. Introducing the fighter out of the red corner, Irish Danny Kelly.
All right, guys, you received your instructions in the dressing room. Obey my commands at all times, protect yourselves at all times, have a good, clean fight, okay? Let's go.
There's the bell. Let's see if this one lives up to the hype. Teddy, what are your feelings on this matchup?
Al, I think you might be able to do as well as this guy in this one.
Solid hook followed by a good mean cross.
That left must have left bells ringing in his ears. He timed that right hand perfect.
Solid hook followed by a good mean cross. Look at these two going at it. Look at these two.
This is shaping up as a classic slugfest.
Attacking in the clinch.
Let's go, you guys. Come on, straight. Stop holding.
Nice uppercut to the head there. Solid cross followed by a wicked hook.
Look at that speed, just firing in there with those punches.
Final minute of round one.
That was a picture punch to the head.
Hitting and hitting. Solid hook there by the Bomber. Locking upstairs.
He just wasn't going to let that headshot get in.
Solid hook followed by a good mean cross. That head crushing right, and he's down.
do your combinations, you have to get off to the side, all right?
Now let's go to round number 2. Blocking up top.
Got his arms in the way of that punch.
Nice cross there. Blocking upstairs. Nice left-hand shot there by the Bomber.
This guy's got a great left.
Big left hand, and down he goes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
This one is
You're out.
all over here in the second round. Let's hear tonight's results at center ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by knockout, the Bomber.
Well, Teddy, your impression of the winner tonight. How impressive was he?
What a way to start your professional career. This is a guy that I'm going to be watching real anxiously how he develops in the pros.
That's about all we have for you tonight from the 4th Street Auditorium. For Max Kellerman and Teddy Atlas, this is Al Bernstein saying goodbye for EA Sports.
The patterns have been uplifted. Smoke a chalice with the map.
Hello, everyone. This is Al Bernstein with Max Kellerman and Teddy Atlas. We're glad you could join us for what promises to be a classic heavyweight fight. Now let's head down to ringside as the fighters make their way into the ring. Let's now take a quick look at our judges for this evening. Well, it looks like we're almost ready, so let's head up to the ring for the fighter introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the 4th Street Auditorium for this first fight of the evening. And presenting first, fighting out of the blue corner, the Bomber! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, introducing David Brickhouse Bunch.
All right, gentlemen, you were both briefed in your dressing rooms. I expect you to obey my commands at all times. Defend yourselves at all times. I want this to be a good, clean fight. Are there any questions? Okay, touch glove.
We head into round one. This one is scheduled for 4. Teddy, any thoughts on tonight's fight?
Southpaws are used to fighting orthodox fighters. It's the orthodox fighter that has to make most of the adjustments.
Look at these two go at it.
Trading blows back and forth. What great action!
Look at this. They're going toe-to-toe.
Toe-to-toe action right here.
Bunch has really got to hold on from here. He can't afford to get hit with much more. Look at this two-way traffic.
He really needs to hold on here. He's getting beat up in there. It's like Hearns and Leonard, man. You gotta hold when you're hurt.
That's a solid uppercut followed by a good mean hook. Attacking in the clinch.
With those shots on the inside there, these two might as well back off and continue boxing.
Break! Stop it! Break!
That's a solid uppercut followed by going down. Scarcely doing any damage with that combination.
Good combination there. Shots to both the head and body.
Now look at me. You okay?
Up at 4.
But let's see if he makes any adjustments after that knockdown.
Fighting on the inside, holding and hitting.
It doesn't really seem to matter to these two if they're holding each other or not. They're still going at it.
Bunch guards his head.
Nice job of defending the head.
That's a solid uppercut followed by a good round 1 comes to a close. Here we go, round 2 of this scheduled 4-rounder. The Bomber lands a solid right-hand shot to the head. That's a solid uppercut followed by a good mean hook. Fighting on the inside.
Stop over.
Attacking in the clinch.
I really don't think these two want to be clinched. They're still going at it.
Guarding that body. Nice uppercut there. Punch blocking upstairs.
Good job of keeping the gloves up.
The Bomber scoring with a huge counter-punching left. Bunch has really got to hold on from here. He can't afford to get hit with much more. Solid cross to the head, followed by a wicked hook to the body by the Bomber.
See, when you throw punches in a clinch, you really can't get much power behind them because you're in so close. But if you keep throwing them, it adds up.
Crushing right hand, and down he goes.
1, 2, 3, 4. Son, where are you?
Bunch getting up from his second knockdown of the evening.
Up for the second time.
Bunch looks like he's ready to add another crushing right hand, and down he goes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You all right?
Bunch rising from his third knockdown of the evening. It's the closing amazing, down with a lucky punch.
I'm stopping it.
This one is all over here in the second round. Now let's go to the ring announcer for our official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by TKO, the Bomber.
Teddy, what's your impression of tonight's winner?
Well, Al, you could call this the elevator fight. That's how many knockdowns there were. What a great match.
That wraps things up from the 4th Street Auditorium. On behalf of Max Kellerman, Teddy Atlas, everyone here at EA Sports, this is Al Bernstein saying goodbye and inviting you to join us in our next presentation of EA Sports Boxing.
stay focused and get in there. Come on.
Who wanna swing with the 3-time champ that blow the mics out? That spit ridiculous, that turn around and punch your lights out. Pick a time, pick a day, pick a groove, pick yourself up off the ground, cause you didn't stick and move. You lost the liquid, it cost you 2 bells. Cause when you're swinging these blows, it's getting felt. This how we go, though, bro, like this. Tap the murderizer and bone crush the swift. Pound for pound, we'll be known as the dopest. Hit a shot of dreams until you realize it's hopeless. Your focus with jab through the chin. I heard all these uppercuts is bad for your skin. Pad through the
Greetings, everybody. Al Bernstein here, along with me, are my partners Max Kellerman and Teddy Atlas. We're glad you could join us here in the 4th Street Auditorium for what should be another exciting matchup. I've been informed that the fighters are about to make their entrances, so let's go down to ringside for a closer look. Here now are the judges for this evening's fight. It looks like we're set to go, so let's turn it over to our ring announcer for tonight's official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the 4th Street Auditorium for this next featured matchup. Fighting out of the blue corner, let's welcome the Bomber! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, introducing Southside.
All right, gentlemen, we've gone through all the instructions in the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. Protect yourselves at all times. Are there any questions? Okay, let's go.
Here we go, round 1 of this scheduled 4-rounder. Teddy, can you tell us your view on tonight's matchup?
Now this matchup kind of reminds me of David and Goliath. Except I think David's going to get what's coming to him this time.
Firm right-hand shot there.
This guy's getting hit with so many rights, he's gonna beg for a left.
Pretty good combination to the head and body by the Bomber.
Al, he's really putting on a good show with combinations like that. Going high, going low, really well-balanced overall attack. Mixing it up with that combination, really looking to confuse the defense there.
That's a solid cross, followed by a wicked hook by the Bomber. Southside has really got to hold on from here. He can't afford to get hit with much more.
Oh, he's in a lot of trouble right now.
Break it up in there. Let's go, you guys. Come on, break.
That's a solid cross, followed by a wicked. There he goes.
1, 2, 3, 4. What round is it?
Off at 4.
Got him pretty quickly there. I don't think the punch hurt him all that much.
South side. Looks like he's ready to add another knockdown to this card. South side, blocking up top.
Kept his arms up to absorb that punch.
Watch those low blows. This your first warning.
I don't think you can have too many complaints. That punch really landed south of the border. Taking a rest here for good reason. He definitely looks tired.
Round 1 comes to a close.
Let's try to back off a little bit. Give yourself some room to work in there.
Here we go, round 2 of this scheduled 4-rounder. He's in trouble. Thundering right hand, and down he goes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now look at me. You okay?
South side, getting up from his second knockdown of the huge right, and he drops to the canvas.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where are you?
Up at 8.
Remember, the 3 knockdown rule's in effect tonight. He simply cannot afford to be knocked down again in this round. Good execution with the left hand there.
Nice shot there by the Bomber.
He's really hitting the mark with those crosses.
Let's go, you guys. Come on, break.
Fighting on the inside.
Even resting these two.
He goes down.
I'm stopping it.
That's it. It's a TKO. Well, let's send it back to the center of the ring and hear tonight's results.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by TKO, the Bomber.
Teddy, what's your impression of tonight's winner?
Well, that's 3 wins in a row now. I think he's ready to step back up in class, back where he belongs.
Well, sports fans, that's about all we have for you this evening. This is Al Bernstein with Max Kellerman and Teddy Atlas saying so long, and thanks for watching EA Sports Fight Night.
that classic material. High roll, invincible. Indivisible, and I have you know, if you want it, then run a phone. Here it goes, that classic material. High roll, invincible, invisible.
Hello, fight fans. I'm Al Bernstein, and with me are Max Kellerman and Teddy Atlas. We're glad you could join us for what should be an exciting heavyweight matchup. Now let's head down to ringside as the fighters make their way into the ring. Now, here are the judges for tonight's bout. It looks like we're set to go, so let's turn it over to our ring announcer for tonight's official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the 4th Street Auditorium for this next featured matchup. Introducing the fighters, fighting out of the blue corner, the Bomber! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, introducing Jake, the Auckland Warrior, Morrison.
All right, guys, you received your instructions in the dressing room. Obey my commands at all times, protect yourselves at all times, have a good, clean fight, okay? Let's go.
We head into round one. This one is scheduled for 4. Teddy, what do you know about tonight's matchup?
Sometimes fights are complicated, sometimes they're simple. This one might just come down to who's got the better chin.
Using the left hand effectively to counter. Trading shots at close range.
Oh, they're mixing it up. What action!
Holding and hitting.
Back it up, back it up.
Nice shot. That right just missed. Guarding the head. Morrison has really got to hold on from here. He can't afford to get hit with much more. Drops for the first time in this round.
Just as he put his hands up to defend, the attack went down low. Great timing with that combination.
You okay?
Up at 4.
He got up pretty quickly there. I don't think the punch hurt him all that much.
Nice shot there by the Bomber.
Al, that right hand sneaked in there. Quick and stinging shot.
Morrison looks like he's ready to add another knockdown to this card. I think I just saw his mouthpiece go running across the floor after that last shot.
And if that shot was a bit higher, it would have been a knockout for sure.
That's a solid uppercut. And again he goes down.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How you doing?
Morrison gets up at 5.
Remember, the 3 knockdown rule is in effect this evening.
We're inside the last 20 seconds of the first round.
Right hand on the money. They get tangled up.
So that'll do it for round 1. So we begin round 2. This one's scheduled for 4. Excellent cross followed by a mean uppercut. The Bomber lands a firm punch to the head.
He set up that straight punch nice.
Excellent defense.
Good right hand downstairs by Morrison.
This is what makes him such a good distance fighter. He bangs that body early.
Holding and hitting. The Bomber with a good cross to the head. Blocking up top.
Kept his arms up to absorb that punch. He just wasn't going to let that head shot get in. Now he's showing off some speed with those.
We're midway through the second round. Attacking in the clinch.
Stop it. Break. No punching. Break.
Morrison begins to hold.
Now that's one way to avoid getting knocked down for the 3rd time in a fight.
Fighting on the inside. Holding and hitting. Drop.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Show me you're okay.
Morrison just getting up at 8.
Up for the 3rd time.
It's the closing seconds of round number 2.
Round.
Let's see that knockdown punch one more time. Here we go, round 3 of this scheduled 4-rounder. So Teddy, how do you have it after the first 2 rounds?
I have it scored 20-15. 2 rounds to nothing. The Bomber.
Fighting on the inside.
These two just don't know when to quit, do they? I like how he worked that hook in there.
That's enough. Break.
Attacking in the clinch.
With those shots on the inside there, these two might as well back off and continue boxing.
2 uppercuts to the body there.
Now he's showing off some speed with those.
The Bomber using the right to counter. Look at this, toe to toe. Unbelievable action. Morrison falling short of evading that uppercut. That shot knocks him down. What a punch.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
This one is all over here in round 3. Now let's go to the ring announcer for our official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by knockout, the Bomber.
Well, Teddy, your impression of the winner tonight. How impressive was he?
Wow, this wasn't just one of those everyday wins. This was a sensational win.
That's about all we have for you tonight from Fort Worth, Texas. For Max Kellerman and Teddy Atlas, this is Al Bernstein wishing you good night from EA Sports Fight Night. Good evening, sports fans. This is Al Bernstein in the broadcast booth along with my colleagues Max Kellerman and Teddy Atlas. Thanks for joining us for what looks to be a great heavyweight matchup. Now let's head down to ringside as the fighters make their way into the ring.
See my speed flying, my technique magnifique, and I read them all nights in the street. So when you speak, use respectful tones. Stay 3 steps off my zone, cause I kick much more than these pros. Cover your goons, got an action Jones. Get the shakes when I hit the brakes. So hit your brakes when you crash with your brakes. If you want it, then run up out, here we go. Classic material, high road, invincible, invisible, indivisible, and I have you know.
Here now are the judges for this evening's fight. It's time for the introductions, so let's head into the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the 4th Street Auditorium for this first fight of the evening. Fighting out of the blue corner, let's hear it for the Bomber! And his opponent, out of the red corner, Charles Buddy Hatcher.
All right, gentlemen, we've gone through all the instructions in the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. Protect yourselves at all times. Are there any questions? Okay, let's go.
We head into round 1. This one is scheduled for 4. Teddy, what do you think of tonight's matchup?
This looks like a very even match to me.
The Bomber with a solid shot to the head there.
Ow, he needs to watch out for that hook. Yeah, it's like he's working a speed bag.
Good, mean punch there.
Those lunging punches can sting you at any moment.
Solid uppercut, followed by a good hook by the Bomber. Fighting on the inside. That's a solid uppercut, followed by a good mean hook.
Yeah, he left himself open and he got nailed for it.
That's a solid cross, followed by a wicked hook by the Bomber. Good left-hand shot there. Hatcher, he's dropped.
1, 2, 3, 4. You all right?
Hatcher getting up for the first time tonight.
He got up pretty quickly there. I don't think the punch hurt him all that much. Too smart to cover up.
Fighting on the inside, attacking in a clinch.
I really don't think these two want to be clinched. They're still going at it.
Solid cross followed by a wicked hook. Hatcher looks like he's ready to add another knockdown to this card. Round 1 comes to a close.
Hey, watch out for that hook. Almost every time he throws a jab, there's a hook behind it.
Here we go, round 2 of this scheduled 4-rounder. Hatcher defending his head,
Great defense.
eluding the left hand.
Al, it's just hard to hit someone when they're moving side to side like that.
That's a solid uppercut followed by a good big left hand, and down he goes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You all right?
Hatcher getting up from his second knockdown of the evening.
Up for the second time.
Break.
Holding and hitting.
Stop holding.
Midway through round 2, his mouthpiece is out.
Now, he's lucky some teeth didn't come out with it, Al. That shot hit him just right.
Hatcher using effective movement to stay away from the attack.
Let's go, you guys. Come on.
He's floored again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What round is it?
Hatcher rising from his 3rd knockdown of the evening. A crashing right hand, and down he goes.
You're done.
That's it. It's a TKO. Well, now let's head to the center of the ring and the announcement of tonight's decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by technical knockout, the Bomber.
Teddy, were you impressed with tonight's winner?
Well, Al, that's 5 wins in a row now, but that's against mediocre opposition. Now it's time to step up and test the waters a little.
Well, that about wraps it up from Fort Worth, Texas. For Max Kellerman and Teddy Atlas, this is Al Bernstein saying good evening, and we'll see you at the next fight.